Hope my screen is visible and it's the BTech page, because still till now a lot of people are asking about the syllabus. So this is the page, I think, where you have applied for the entrance examination of Amrita University. Here, there is something called information handbook. You could just click on it and it's in the end only. I think so. The syllabus is in the last part. Yes, here you can get the syllabus of physics, chemistry, and the mathematics. Or everything is here only. And this is the 2024 updated syllabus with everything that's removed. Okay. So you can just go and download this document and you can just understand, yeah, what's there in the syllabus, which portions you need to concentrate. And one more thing, most of you are asking about the important topics or something like that. So I just want to clarify that there is nothing like, yeah, this portion will have more questions. More questions will come from this chapter. There is nothing like that. Maybe I would say a single question will be there from each of the chapter. That's how we have planned. So it's not like you have to study this 5 chapters to get good mark. You have to study this 3 chapters to get good. There is nothing like that. Every chapter we have given the equal importance. Okay. So yes, now I hope everybody is ready with your pen and book, and we are just going to start the session. So which questions or which chapter are we planning to discuss today? I think most of you might not be concentrating that much on this chapter, but I would say this is very, very important when it comes to the entrance examination. Okay, completely fine. Then start doing the question. It's a mix of different chapters. I have taken portions from different chapters today. So the question is, the coefficient of x raised to 4 in the expansion of 1 plus x square plus x cube whole raised to 6 in the powers of x's. So mostly when it comes to JEE, this part is like, this type of questions mostly comes in the numerical part. The multiple choices questions is also there, but mostly it comes in the numerical part. It's a very simple question, and this is a very, I would say, repetitive format of question. Coefficient of something, it could be x raised to 4, x raised to 10, or anything. Maybe they'll ask for the coefficient of x square, x raised to 5. So the coefficient of x raised to 4 in the expansion of 1 plus x square plus x cube whole raised to 6. Okay, I hope you have just started doing the question, and it's a very simple question. I think now I have reduced the size. The coefficient of x raised to 4 in this particular expansion, that's what the question is asking. I think there are a lot of hands raising. You can type whatever queries you have in the chat box. Just give me some time. So this is 1 plus x square plus x cube. This is like 1 plus x raised to 5, x raised to 7. The same pattern. This is like a very important model of question that comes repetitively. So what I've done is, I just want to form this. I just want to find out the coefficient of x raised to 4 in the expansion. So in order to apply some formula that I've studied, or in order to make the expansion part clear, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to take the x outside. So it will be 1 plus x, and this is 1 plus x. So I'll be able to write this as 1 plus x raised to 6 into 1 plus x square raised to 6, right? I hope it's clear. This part, it's 1 plus x raised to 6. Sorry, 1 plus x whole raised to 6 and 1 plus x square whole raised to 6. Now coming to the second part is identifying what the form will be or how it will be. So here they're asking for the power as 4. So this term, if it's, this is 4, this is 0, this is 2, this is 2. So then it's 4. This is 0, this is 4. That could be the possibility. So you can just expand it. 64, 60, 62, 61, 60, 62. So solving it, you will be able to get the answer as 120. I hope everybody has come across this question. I think 2 or 3 kids have already answered. Yeah, yes, it's 120. You need to understand what you have to find. So here, as it's in this, and maybe when you're thinking about the formulas, it's really, really difficult for you. What I've done is I have just changed it in such a way that I'll be able to use the formula that I've studied in my class. So I've changed this to 1 plus x, it's common here, and 1 plus x square. So 1 plus x raised to 6 and 1 plus x square raised to 6. If it's x raised to 4, how I'll be able to find out the expansion? Or maybe you can go for a plus b or x plus y all raised to n. You can expand it, the whole formula, everything you can do. So when it comes to finding out the coefficient, it's really easy for that. How it's going to happen? What is the coefficient? If it's 4. So if this part is 2, the other is 2, then that's 4. If it's 0, then the other one is 4. So this is 6C4, 6C0, 6C2, 6C1, then 6C0, 6C2. You could just expand it and the answer is 120. I think Ishan is actually raising your hand. Just wanted to understand. Okay, can you please type what this is? If this term itself is 4, then this is 0, right? If this is 2, then this is 2. This is 0, then this term we can call it as 4. Then only the coefficient or the value will be 4. So I'm just taking the combinations and then expanding it, and then I'll be able to get the answer. I hope this question is clear to all of you. Is this okay? Can we move forward? Okay, completely fine. Ishan, I'm requesting you, if there is any query, please do type it in the chat box. Then only I'll be able to help you. Okay. The natural number m for which the coefficient x in the binomial expansion x raised to m plus 1 by x square whole raised to 22 is 1540. You have to find out natural number m for which the coefficient x in the binomial expansion, this is 1. The value is actually given as 1540. So what is the value? I hope the screen is visible. The natural number m for which the coefficient of x in the binomial expansion of x raised to m plus 1 by x square whole raised to 22 is 1540. What is actually the value is? I hope you are here along with me, just discussing the question, just doing the question. I would say all the questions that we are discussing today are of really important, or the same pattern, the same type of question always repeats in different entrance examination. In Amrita, as well as I would say in G, you can equate it to m. Sorry, you can equate it to 1. Yes, the value is 1, so you can equate it to 1. I think, I don't know your name, it's written as Samsung. So you can equate the value, the coefficient of x, these factors to 1, and you'll be able to find out the value of m or r when you're applying the formula. So just try to do this. Okay, I think Sanjay has given me the answer as 13. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think 3 or 4 kids have already given me the answer. Is it 13? Okay, I'll just give you 1 or 2 minutes to just go through the question and then we'll start discussing. So just have an idea about it. The natural number m for which the coefficient x in the binomial expansion of x raised to m plus 1 by x square whole raised to 22 is 1540 is. Okay, there is another answer which is 20. Okay, let's see. I would say this model of question repeats in examination. This is a very easy question. So this is something that you need to be careful about when you are answering the exams. So the first part is, I hope everybody knows this expansion, right? X plus y raised to n, NCR x raised to n minus r, y raised to r. So for the general term, we call it as r plus 1, right? So when we are applying that here, it will be something like 22 CR, x raised to m, n minus r, 1 by x square, r. I hope this part is clear. So if we are applying it, this term is 22 CR, x raised to m, n minus r, 1 by x square, that's y whole raised to r. Now this is x raised to minus 2 into r. This is x raised to mn minus mr. So you can expand this term. It will be, oh, I'm sorry. So when you're expanding this term, it will be 22 CR x raised to nm minus mr into x raised to minus 2r. So x raised to m, x raised to n, mn. So this will be x raised to nm minus mr minus 2n. Now, the term is given, which is 1540, right? So if you're checking the coefficient, the value is 1. So we'll be able to equate this with Nm minus Mr minus 2R is equal to 1. And you have the value of Nm here. So N is 22. So this will be x raised to 22m minus Mr minus R. So in this question, what is the point is there are two unknowns. You have the value, you don't know the value of M as well as you don't know the value of R. So you just need to find out this. Then only you'll be able to find out the answer. There are two unknowns, so you just need to work on it. So the first part is like, we all know we can substitute it to 1. So I have just kept this. So if that value is 1, then what will be this equation? It's 1540 is equal to 22 CR. You need to find out the value of R. What are the possibilities of R? So maybe you can use NCR or NCN minus R. So I've just started with 22C1, it's 22. 22C2, it's 231. 22C3, I got this is 1540. It could be 22C, 22 minus 3. So the possibility of two options I got here as 22C3 and 22C19. So the options are, it could be either 3 or 19. If I have the value of 3 or 19 here, I'll be able to substitute it and I'll be able to find out which error is possible. What is the possibility here? So the first case, what I'm going is, I'm just going to substitute for 3. So when I've substituted, I got the value 7 by 19, which is actually not possible according to the question. Because what the question is asking you is the natural number M for which. Now the other possibility is I have substituted the value of 19. So if it's 19, I'm able to get the value of M as 13. So those students have given me the answer of 13. It's completely true. Yes, I'm just looking into the chat box. I hope up to this it's clear. Okay, just hold on for a second, children. This is the part, right? So I hope, is this expansion okay to all of you? I hope everybody knows because we have been using this in the problems that we are solving in our classes, right? What I'm mentioning, Gautam, is something like this are the pattern of questions that you need to be careful about. These pattern of questions might come in AEEE as well as JEE type of examinations. So yes, we have the general term and whatever is given is the coefficient of x in the binomial expansion. The value is 1540. So you'll be able to equate this. The value as Nm minus Mr minus 2m. That's 22m minus Mr minus 2r is equal to 1. If you're equating it, 1540 will be equal to 22 CR. So then you can, or you will be able to find out the value of N. You can, R. N we already have, it's 22 CR and N is 22. So I have just started with 22C1, 22C2. I've just randomly worked on it and I got 22C3 is 1540. So I know there is another possibility which is 22C, 22 minus 3. N minus R. So I got this as 22C19. So there is 3 and 19. That's the possibility. So when I've substituted for 3, I got it as, I got it in the form of something called 7 by 19, which is actually not acceptable according to the question. So when I've substituted for R equal to 19, I got the value of M is equal to 13. So the natural number M, for which the coefficient of x in the binomial expansion, this one is 1540 is 13. Ishan, are you having any other queries? I think Sanjay, if there is anything, can you please type it in the chat box? I think I'll just show you this once again. So this was the question that we were discussing about. And I have seen some more questions of the same format where the values are different. Maybe the expression is different. So dear children, are you having any queries or anything when it comes to this, or can we move forward? Just wanted the confirmation from you and then only I'll move forward. Dhanwant, right? Okay, just a second, Lakshmi. I'll give you just some time, and for those students who have not done the calculation, you can just start doing it. Can you just hold on for a moment? And those students have just typed forward and all, please hold on for a moment. So when I've substituted it for 1, this is equal to 22 CR. So I've just find out the values of R. There are two values which I got, 3 and 19. I've substituted for both of them, and I just analyzed which is actually satisfying the condition or the criteria that's given in the question. Okay. Now I think another one is an easy question. P denotes the fractional part of the number P. This is actually denoted in brackets. So if this P denotes the fractional part of P, then 3 raised to 200 by 8 is equal to. Almost all of them are previous year questions only. There are some mix. It's JE as well as AEEE. Some of the questions that we'll be discussing today are previous year AEEE, and some of them that we are discussing today are previous year JE. So if P denotes the fractional part of number P, then 3 raised to 200 by 8 is equal to. Those students are already working on it. I would request you to consider this as a revision to understand, yeah, I know this problem, I have solved it. This is the way, this is the formula that I have to use. So it's just this 1 hour in a week, you're dedicating it for completely problem solving. Okay, let's check. I think I got the answer from 2 or 3 kids. When you're typing something, please do make sure that you're typing it in the channel. I think, Ishan, our syllabus is mostly like synced with something called JE. So almost all the portions that are there will be there in AEEE. Okay, I got option C, B, and D. Okay, completely fine. Priyajit, I hope you have already mailed what are details you have to our portal, that's btech@amrita.edu. So they'll get back to you. Okay. Just wanted to check when you have mailed and what's the duration. Yes, those chapters are actually there in JE, Ishan. So that's why I think, and from those chapters, only the basic questions will be there. Because you have to have an idea about something of the S to go into the other two, right? So there will be basic questions only. There will not be that much, I would say, that much range of questions. Okay, I think almost all of you have typed your answers. So yes, moving on. It's a very easy question. So whenever this type of question comes, and that too, if something is there in the of this format, something like 3 raised to 200 by 8, and it's asking you for fractional part, the integer, those type of questions, how you will be able to write the numerator in the form of denominator or denominator in the form of numerator? That's what you need to be careful about. Whenever you're solving these type of questions, you have to think on that way only. Okay. So here what I've done is, this is what the question is asking me, right? And they have given me P is actually the fractional part of this number P. So I'm just planning to take or arrange this numerator in the form of the denominator in a way that it somehow relates with the denominator. So I'll be able to write this as 3 square into 200, 100. That's 3 raised to 200. This is 9 raised to 100. It's a plus or minus. It's something of related to this 8. So I'll be able to write something called 8 plus 1, 8 minus 1. That I need to take care of. So here I have taken this as 8 plus 1 raised to 100 by 8. Now coming to the expansion part, which you, oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Coming to the expansion part, you all know x plus y whole raised to n. So 100C0, 8 raised to 100, 1 raised to 0. 100C1, 8 raised to 99, 1 raised to 1. 100C2, 8 raised to 98, 1 square, etc. 100C98, 8 square, 1 raised to 98. 100C99, 8 raised to 1 into 1. 100C100, 8 raised to 0, 1 raised to 100. So this is 1. So I'll be just able to rearrange this. Something like 1 plus of this format divided by 8. So yes, I have just expanded this term and it's divided by 8. So we are just going to see how we have solved this. So yes, this is the expansion. And this is what will happen when you will have divided it by 8. So this is like some constant value, right? This expansion is like some constant value, let it be m or k. So the form will be 1 plus 8k. That's what the question is asking you, right? So it's 8 plus 1 always to 100 by 8. So it could be 1 plus 8k by 8. So this is of the form 1 by 8 plus k. The integer part is this and the fractional part is 1 by 8. And I think almost all of you got the answer as correct. Almost all the students here have responded like, yeah, this is 1 by 8. Okay. Now I think moving on, I have the next question to here. This is also, I would say, a very common type of question that's here. They'll be giving us the coefficients of something, x raised to 4 or x square in this particular expansion. It could be different. And they'll be asking what is a plus b, what is a minus b, what's the sum of the roots, what's the division of the roots. This type of question is also really common. I hope the screen is visible and you are just started doing the question. Gautam, I have already shown you where you have to just go and check the syllabus. Yes, it's mostly related to that of JE only, Gautam. So those students who are having other type of queries, please hold on. Towards the end of the session, I'll try to address all of your queries, even the syllabus and everything. So kindly wait. Alpha and beta be the coefficients of x raised to 4 and x squared respectively in the expansion this one. Then I need to find out alpha plus beta or alpha minus beta. So the aim of this session is to make you understand which pattern or which type of questions may come or might come in the entrance examination. Okay, I got one answer as option D, option C. Okay. Gautam, I think we have deleted most of the portions, most major chapters from chemistry that's not there in your syllabus, and some small changes in the chapters of physics as well as mathematics. Some portions were removed. Sansita, I think I'm not able to understand. Okay, I think option B is there, option C is there, option D is there. This is like you need to find alpha and beta. What's the value of alpha plus beta? What's alpha minus beta? So if you have these two values, you will be able to find out what is alpha plus beta, what is alpha minus beta. So all the students have given me answers B, C, D and all. I think most of them has given me these three options. Gautam, kindly wait towards the end, I'll tell you. So yes, please do recheck it. That's very, very important. Okay, I think there are a lot of queries coming up. I think Sansida, towards the end, I'll help you with that. So I hope we can discuss this question. Okay. So this type or this pattern of questions repeat. So you have to be really careful when you're solving these type of questions. So this is what the value is. It's x plus y all raised to n, x minus y all raised to n. You can just substitute for them and solve for the coefficients of x raised to 4 and x squared. It's very easy and very simple, right? We know the formula nc0 x raised to n y raised to 0, nc1 x raised to n minus 1 y raised to 1, nc2 x raised to n minus 2 y raised to y squared, etc. Ncn x raised to 0 y raised to n. So this is, the terms are x and root x square minus 1, but there is a change in the sign, right? So it will be alternatively positive and negative. That's the change that's going to happen in this term. That's x minus root of x square minus 1 whole raised to 6. So yes, I have just expanded the terms here. It's very easy. Because I think we have just seen this part. The basic formula, right? nc0 x raised to n y raised to 0, nc1 x raised to n minus 1 y raised to 1, nc2 x raised to n minus 2 y squared, right? So yes, it's raised to 6. So first one will be 6e0 x raised to 6 root of x square minus 1 raised to 0. 6e1 x raised to 5 root of x square minus 1 whole raised to 1 plus 6e2 x raised to 4 root of x square minus 1 whole square. Then 6e3 x cube root of x square minus 1 whole cube. Same like 6e4 x square root of x square minus 1 whole raised to 4. 6e5 x raised to 1 root of x square minus 1 whole raised to 5. 6e6 x raised to 0 root of x square minus 1 whole raised to 6. I have completed the expansion, right? Now when it comes to this, it will be minus root of x square minus 1 whole raised to 0. So I've just expanded both the terms. I hope it's clearly visible to all of you. So when you're just going to check this, the one, this 3 and this 5, this will be of opposite signs and all of them will get cancelled. So what is actually this one? X plus root of x square minus 1 whole raised to 6 plus x minus root of x square minus 1 whole raised to 6. Yes. So those terms will get cancelled and the remaining, it's 2, right? It's addition. There are 2 terms. So it's 2 of 6c0 x raised to 6 plus 6c2 x raised to 4 into, it will be x square minus 1 plus 6c4 x square into x square minus 1 whole square plus 6c6 x raised to 0 into x square minus 1 whole cube. So this is what it is. I hope up to this it's clear. Is it clear? Can we move forward? 2 into 6c0 x raised to 6 plus 6c2 x raised to 6 minus x raised to 4 plus 6c4 x square into x raised to, this expansion you can do, right? A minus b the whole square, a square minus 2ab plus b square, a cube, a minus b the whole cube, that also you can expand. So this I have written x square minus 1 whole cube. Now I have expanded it. So once you expand all these terms, it's really easy for you to find out the coefficients of x raised to 4 and I think x square that's there in the question. So whenever you come across these type of questions, you have to expand it such that you will be able to sort out for the coefficients. So the first one is x raised to 4. So here there will be minus 6c2. Then here it will be minus 2 into 6c4. And here it will be minus 3 into 6c6. So once you solve for all of them, it will be minus 15, minus 30, minus 3. It's minus 2 into 48, it's minus 96. Same like for beta, that's the coefficient of x square. You have x square here. So it's 6c4 and you have it here plus 6c6 into 3. So you have this value as 36. So you got this as minus 96 and 36. So minus 96 plus 36, it's minus 60. Lot of you have given me, I hope the screen is still visible. Most of you have given me one option, that's alpha plus beta equal to 60, but it was minus 60. So it's alpha minus beta, sorry, alpha plus beta equal to 60, alpha minus beta equal to 60. So when it comes to this, a sign is very, very important. You need to be really careful. The second one is alpha minus beta, which is minus 96 minus 36, which is minus 132. I think there are a lot of students who have opted for option D for this question, and that's what is the correct answer. I hope this question is clear. Is there anything that you want me to discuss in this question, or can we move forward? Just a second, Ishan. Option B is actually something called alpha plus beta equal to minus 30. It might be something that happened in the calculation. So please do check into it. Maybe towards the end of the session, we can discuss this once again. Okay. Now coming to the next question. If the number of terms in the expansion of 1 minus 2 by x plus 4 by x square whole raised to n, given x is not equal to 0, that is very much important, is 28. Number of terms and the expansion of this one is 28. Then our sum of the coefficients of all terms in the expansion. A very common question. Those students who feel like, yeah, I'm stuck in some part of the question, please wait till the end of the session. I'll be able to help you. So yes, please do wait. Once the session part is over, I'll help you to discuss whichever questions you feel difficulty with. Okay. So I hope you can just start doing this question. If the number of terms in the expansion 1 minus 2 by x plus 4 by x square whole raised to n, it's not x plus y. So what you have to do? Maybe just think about it. Given that x not equal to 0, the value is 28, then the sum of coefficients of all the terms in this expansion is. And if you have completed the question, just type the option that you got in the chat box. Okay, I think 64. Okay, let's check. Okay, there is 729. Okay. Most of the children are giving the answer as 729. Okay. completely fine. A common type of question that comes, and you need to be really careful about how we are going to solve this question. That's very, very important. So whenever you encounter this question, it was always something called x plus y, right? Maybe you can take x plus y plus z. Maybe this two term is set. Then you can go for the expansion and then you can solve it. That is also fine. Something like nc0 x raised to n or x plus y raised to n, z raised to 0. The terms will be something like the final term will be ncn x plus y raised to 0, z raised to n. Then it's like a lot of solving is required. So when you look into the term, it's from n to n plus 1, right? So the sum of coefficient of terms in the equation. So we will be able to rewrite this as n plus 1 into n plus 2 by 2. And here in the question, it's given that number of terms in the expansion, this one is 28. So it's n plus 1 into n plus 2 by 2 equal to 28. So you got an equation where you will be able to find out the value of n. So if you have the value of n, then it's really easy. It's 1 minus 2 by x plus 4 by x square whole raised to 6, because we got the value of n as 6. Now, if it's 6 and they have clearly specified that x is not equal to 0, substituting for x equal to 1, I'll be able to find this as 3 raised to 6, that is 729, and which is option D. I hope this is an easy question to all of you. And I hope it's clear also. Now, I think another question. Okay. The number of terms in the expansion 1 plus x raised to 101 and 1 plus x square minus x raised to 100 and the powers of x. 1 plus x raised to 101 and 1 plus x square minus x raised to 100. So please start doing this question. I've just shown the question here. And somebody has requested for the fifth question in motion. So I've just shown it, and those students have completed. You can start doing the next question. So I hope we can discuss this question. It's a very simple question, like all of you are thinking. So yes, I've just started with this. This is what I know. Most of the time you might feel it could be something like 201. So yes, I have just started. I've just planned to write this in one go. So it's like 1 plus x into 1 plus x square minus x raised to 100, and this is the additional. So this you'll be able to write 1 plus x cube raised to 100 and 1 plus x. So this will be something like 101. So if you have 1 plus x, it's 1 into this plus x into this. So both of them will have something called 101 terms. So it's 101 plus 101, and it will be 202. A very simple question, which I think most of you have an idea how you have to do this or how you have to solve it. I hope this question is clear. Can we move forward, children? If there is anything, please do type it in the chat box. Can we move forward, dear children? I think nobody is responding. Are you still processing the question, or can we start doing the next one? Because I just want to have an idea whether you are able to understand it or can we move forward. So yes, thank you all. Thank you, Kavitam. So this is the next question. This is important. This type is important. The coefficient of x cube and x raised to 4 in the expansion 1 plus ax plus bx square and 1 minus 2x raised to 18 in the powers of x. So given they are equal to 0, then a, b. You need to find the value of a and b here. A very common model that occurs. I would say very common as well as very important model. Okay, I think most of you have given me an answer as option A. Okay, let's see whether option A is the correct answer or not. And there is option B, C also there from student side. Okay, let's check. Okay, completely fine. Let's check. I think option B is also there. Some of you have given option B. Okay, let's check. So this is a very simple question. So this is the first part, right? 1 plus ax plus bx square into 1 minus 2x into 18. You could just take the powers directly. Or maybe like you could just expand and write this. And here you have to use the formula. It's 1 minus 2x raised to 18. So it's x minus y whole raised to n. You could just take these terms inside and then you can find the coefficients, or you could just keep it as it is. I would say if you're just removing the bracket, then that would be easy for you. Something like 1 minus 2x into whole raised to 18 plus ax into 1 minus 2x raised to 18 plus bx square into 1 minus 2x raised to 18. So x, the coefficient of x cube, right? So first is 18c3 and it will be 2 cube. Then a 18c2 2 square. It's alternative negative. So minus b 18c1 2 raised to 1. So you'll solve and you'll have an equation with two unknowns. It's like a and b. The same you can apply for x raised to 4 also. If you have expanded it, it would have been easy. So when it comes to 18c4 2 raised to 4, 18c3 2 cube and b into 18c2 2 square. So if you have these two equations, you can solve for the unknowns and you'll get the answer. So once you have the two equations, you can solve it and you'll get the answer. I hope this question is clear to all of you. This is a very simple question, but this type of question often comes, I would say, repetitively in these examinations. Is this clear, children? Do you want me to repeat this? Can anybody say something? I think that was an easy question. That's why I've just discussed this a little bit fast. If you want me to just go on, I would say individually, each step by step, then I can do that. Hello, kids. Is that question clear? Do you want me to discuss this further? It's a equal to 16 and b equal to 272 by 3. Now, another question. This is the final question of today. So, the sum of coefficients of integer powers of x in the binomial expansion 1 minus 2 root x whole raised to 50. It's a direct question. It's a direct question. Thank you, Nirmal. Is it 1 by 2 into 3 raised to 50 plus 1, 1 by 2 into 3 raised to 50, 1 by 2 into 3 raised to 50 minus 1, or 1 by 2 into 2 raised to 50 plus 1? Which among the following is the correct answer? The sum of coefficients of integral powers of x and the binomial expansion. I want you to give me the answer and then we can start discussing. Okay, I think children have started given. Okay, C is one answer. Okay, A is another answer. It's like C and A. There is a small change in sign only. It's 1 by 2 into 3 raised to 50 plus 1, 1 by 2 into 3 raised to 50 minus 1. So please check whether this is correct or not. Okay. Yes, Gautam. So maybe children, I'll just discuss this now. And if you're having any further queries, any question, or anything, please do type that in the chat box so I'll be able to help you. So this is the question. So I've just expanded it. 50C0, 50C1. This is minus 2 root x raised to 1, 50C2 minus 2 root x raised to 2, etc. So it's just 1 plus x raised to 50. You can take the terms as 3 raised to 50 plus 1 by 2. Very simple question, very easy question. Yes, I could see it as Samsung. That's it. And I think there are a lot of questions coming up. I'll try to answer all of them one by one. I hope this session was okay. And I was able to cover some of the areas. Okay. So there is a question, can we join with board exam marks? No, we don't have that. So the admissions are offered through our entrance exam or through JEE. 70% seats are through HOP and the rest 30 is through JEE in the whole university. Okay. So board exam marks is just the cutoff. It's like 55% marks individually in physics, chemistry, mathematics, and 60, I would say 60% as an aggregate and as an average of these three subjects. That's what is needed. Okay. Okay, I'll just. Is that syllabus part clear, children? Okay, regarding the test block and P block, I think I've cleared the details, Ishan, and I think most probably questions from Carnot engine also will not be there. Okay. Now, yes, Kaudam, just hold on for a second. Second phase is in May. That's what I want to make clear. Yes, you can go to amritacbtpractice.in where those details are there. And this is the portion, Gautam. This is something which I would say, this is the BTech page. Just hold on. Here, this is the page where you have applied. So here, when you're scrolling down, you'll have something called, information handbook. In the information handbook, it's towards the end only. So here you can just step. I think last year it was like chemistry. We were having a lot more chapters, but this year it's only 16. Last year, I think it was 20 chapters, and most of the portions are removed, or I would say updated. And physics and maths also, there are changes, but less compared to that of chemistry, because more changes are there in chemistry only. You can go to the website amrita.edu/practice test to get these videos. That's there in the website. It's just preparing for more, it's like solving lot of questions. That's it. And I know phase 1 is just before your board exams, you're preparing for labs, you might be busy, but take this as a trial. And I would request everybody not to focus on the theory, just at least problem solving for the coming 10 to 15 days before this examination. Just dedicate a fixed time for the problem solving, completely solve those questions, and then it would be easy for you. And I would request you to just go through these questions also once again. And slot booking will open tomorrow. Okay. Most probably by tomorrow evening or day after morning, slot booking will open. You'll receive mail. Okay. And now I think, I don't know whether I've shared the new creator with you, but this is the 11th session of this year. And next week, we'll be discussing questions of vector algebra. Okay. So I would request everybody to just go through the formulas and everything, and it will be easy for you to solve the questions when you've just covered the formulas for the next session. Okay. So it's vector algebra. So I hope I was able to clear queries. If there is anything, please do type. It's in Amrita CBT practice.in Vidhi. Amrita CBT practice.in. Vijay, if you have any queries, can you please type that in the chat box? This is also there in that page which I'm mentioning. It's Amrita CBT practice.in. To solve maximum questions, that's very important. And one more tip is something like for HEEE, mathematics is really important. 40 questions are from mathematics. The rest is like 25 questions are there from chemistry, 5 questions are from English, and 30 questions are from physics. So it's like max is 40. It is a total of 120 marks. It's like 3 marks for every correct answer and -1 for every wrong answer. So 40 questions are of mathematics. Then physics, it's 30, chemistry, it's 25, and English, it's 5. So yes, thank you so much, everyone. And we can meet on next Thursday, and all the best to all of you for your lab exams and the entrance exams and everything. So thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Have a good day. Bye.